Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the magic system of essence. Let us begin. Judging by this, you guys probably want to know about the magic system when it comes towards void, and as a whole we're going to go over this. Essence is the natural energies of the world of void as a whole. This is the main construct of how the world of Aldora was created, and as such this entire world was created by essence. The four main essences or primal essences are earth, fire, water and air, and thus those are the constructs of the mortal plane of existence of Aldora. You have higher ones, which are the essences of space, time, life and death. Those ones are the celestial essences, and as such those ones gain in notoriety when it comes towards learning essences. Within the mortal plane, most races cannot harness celestial essences, and most races have an affinity towards the primal essences of fire, water, air and earth. Much like the Ashali, they have a composite of fire and earth, which makes them molten essence based. This means that they have the ability to control earth and fire at the exact same time and combine it into molten in order to use it for their own effects. With other races such as the dwarves and the humans, they have a strong affinity towards the earth essence, which is noted right here. Now, essence is used as a construct. Every creature in the world of Aldora has an affinity to either one of these essence types. However, you are able to bind yourself to other essence types, though this does take more practice and time in order to rebind yourself to another essence. As such, with primordial humans, however, they are one of the first races, and as such they have an affinity to bind themselves more easily than other races to a preferred essence. However, though each creature or race or monster have an affinity towards a primal essence, or a celestial essence, if we're getting into the higher realms, this means that they can control and manipulate at will. However, not all of these creatures, races and monsters have the ability to harness those essences directly. This takes time and practice to harness and bind yourself with your own essence. Take for instance a standard human. And a standard human has the affinity of earth essence, which means that they can bind themselves to earthen essence more easily than any of the other essences. This does not mean that they have the immediate ability of being able to make mountains with their earthen essence. No, this takes more binding, more power, more energy as a whole in order to produce the outcome in which they want. A standard human may have an affinity, however, they don't have the power in order to harness or create or use the essence as a whole. This means that only a select of the practitioners of the natural born essences have dedicated themselves to learning and harnessing their abilities. Take for instance with Andril. He has a affinity with earthen essence. However, in his younger years, he had only have the affinity of earthen essence. But when he joined into the military of Aronia, he was taught how to bind himself and use and harness the energy as a whole in order to create, for instance, a wall of earth to protect himself against arrows, so to speak. It's things like that where you have to actually practice, and hard work actually pays off in binding yourself to that preferred essence. You have other creatures such as elementals, which are naturally born of pure essence, and the Iari, who are the living embodiment of essence, which are around the world as a whole. Those are side notes to the other races. However, they do have a very strong connection towards the essence as a whole, as they are naturally born to that essence and they are of that essence. Don't get that confused with a standard race of the world where they just have an affinity. The magic system of essence comes from the character's innate will. This is all will based, and thus if you can will something to happen and your will is strong enough, you can make it happen with your essence. This is in all of the games, your will determine how powerful your effects will be with essence as a whole. Such as, for instance, someone with a stronger willpower of the same essence can overwhelm the other. And it's all a test of stamina and will and strength overall. Needless to say, the more determined, the more perseverance, the more practice and hard work dedication will lead to you being the more powerful user as a whole of your preferred essence. Hopefully I managed to get across the magic system. Essence is something that I really do love the ability of. You have obviously the standard primal essences, which kind of remind me of Avatar. Trust me, I did not think of that at the first time. And moving into essence as a whole with space, time, and death and life, you will find that the celestial essences are incredibly powerful. However, the primal essences can take a precedent over them as well. So the celestial essences aren't the be all or end all of essence. You can defeat someone with a celestial essence if you have a primal essence. It determines on your will and your perseverance to win and just get stronger and better and bind yourself to that essence. I did a side note on a video a while back. However, when it comes towards aspects of essence, that just means that they are the strongest, one of the strongest users of that preferred essence, and thus they are so adept, they have become one with that essence, and thus they can have more ability to do things with that essence than most other people cannot. Take for instance Szeth with Death Essence. He is known as an aspect of death, where this means that he could freely resurrect anyone in combat. This would coincide with Andrew at the end of the story, where he could use Shadow Essence to pull negative time from someone, as it is a construct of Time Essence and Death Essence to create Shadow Essence, and thus he could pull time from someone else and give it to an inanimate object and raise that. However, the negative time will run out eventually and it will cease to exist. It's constructs like that which gives a bit more depth in the realm of essence as a whole. And overall, when it comes towards essences, I generally love the aspect of everything being created from essences in the most fundamental sense. They are the building blocks to the entire universe of void, and the energy permeates the entire area as a whole. Other than that, that is my overview on what is essence. Feel free, I'm going to expand on it a lot more in the future, focusing on the specific essences as a whole. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.